is boys volleyball tonight on CCX. I'm Steve Thompson along with Tyler Ullman. Tonight, Champlin Park hosts Robbinsdale Armstrong. And Tyler, it's an exciting time. Finally a high school league sport after many years of trying.
Yeah, it's been a long way coming, and a lot of people worked a lot of nights, a lot of days, long hours to try and get boys volleyball, and here we are.
Yeah, you're a volleyball player yourself, and it's a great sport. You can tell the kids are having fun, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of kids who are playing not necessarily their first volleyball game ever, but they're playing their first high school sport ever, and it's the first time they actually get to represent their school. And it's really a cool experience for them and for us watching, too.
Yeah, and there's certainly experienced coaches, players, as you pointed out, have been playing club, and Sammy Hilly for Champlin Park, folks are familiar with that name. Volleyball player in her own right at a very high level, now coaching here at Champlin Park.
Yeah, Sammy and the Hilly name goes a long way, and they've been around a long time, and now, like you said, she comes full circle and she gets to the coach at her alma mater, and she's really doing a great job here so far.
Yeah, and Randy Davis, another coach that's been around, familiar with the game, and it's great to have that experience.
Definitely, and it's a family experience for her too, because her son is on the roster, Isaiah Scott, and he's a big part of that roster too. So it's a really cool thing to see for them to get that connection as well.
Going to be fun. Once again, boys volleyball tonight, always entertaining. Robbinsdale Armstrong at Champlin Park coming up next here on CCX.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
And we are back, and we're getting the lineups for Armstrong and Champlin Park. Once again, Steve Thompson, Tyler Ullman, and our great CCX crew here tonight. Not too hot outside, very comfortable inside for boys volleyball. Champlin Park 2-5, Armstrong 4-2. And Tyler, your thoughts on this one tonight?
I think it's going to be a good, nice match. We got a bunch of athletes on both sides of the ball, and it's really going to be a matter of, I think, who wins the serve and pass game, as it tends to come down to. But we've got a lot of great opportunities to see some good volleyball tonight.
Yeah, Champlin Park, once again, 2-5 this year, and they dropped their first three out of the gate. Maple Grove, Coon Rapids, Rogers. They beat United Christian in the Osseo Senior High School Invitational. Then they dropped one to host Osseo and Blaine, and then they were able to beat Centennial on Monday last time out. You see Mo Jallo, and of course you're familiar with Mo if you saw Champlin Park boys hoops this winter. And talking with both coaches, there are some crossover athletes that play in other sports like Mo, and then there's others who are dedicated to volleyball and have played club volleyball, and this is their sport.
Yeah. That was one of the big pushes in getting this sanctioned statewide, is that there are some crossover athletes, because there's some kids who just love to play sports no matter what the sport, but there's also a ton of volleyball players who just play volleyball, and that's what they're getting the opportunity here this season for the first time.
And there's the head coach for Armstrong, Randy Davis. And Davis has been around her third year with the program, of course, first year of boys volleyball being a sanctioned sport. And once again, she did talk about that fact that, once again, it's a sport where there's opportunities for people that maybe didn't play other sports to come out for volleyball. And then, of course, she's got some football players, et cetera. And there's Sammy Hilly, and what a career she had at Champlin Park. Now she's a teacher at Jackson Middle School across the street, and the boys volleyball coach. And here we are ready to go, and there are the starters for both teams. Once again, Armstrong in the red and the Rebels in the blues. We get started. Once again, boys volleyball, best of 5 tonight. And serving for Champlin Park to get us started, Mega Yang, senior. Yang will serve away. Armstrong goes to work. Big swing, and that's dug out of there by Yang. And the point goes to Armstrong. Good dig in the back, but Armstrong gets the point.
Yeah, I think that's where Armstrong's going to be strong tonight is on offense. If they can get a good high ball, they're going to be able to put a good swing on it pretty much all night long.
Sebastian Hippolito Valtierrez. A moment ago on your screen. Rebels go to work, and then fanning on the set there was Vega Yang, and it's 2-0 Armstrong. And now Brian Hattin, senior center, will serve away for Armstrong into the net. And that's one of the things is those service errors.
Oh, yeah.
It over time, huge factor.
Yeah, I tell a lot of people the higher that you get, the stronger the serves need to be, though.
Armstrong taps it over. Champlin Park goes to work. Over on the far side, that swing goes awry. And that was Curtis Yang on the kill attempt. 3-1 Armstrong. They'll get the serve back. And this will be Sebastian Hippolito Valtierrez to serve for the Falcons. Senior outside hitter. There's a kill already here tonight. Near side Jallo. Dug out of there beautifully by Armstrong. And that one was put away by Hayden Olson. And it's 4-1 Armstrong, and they're off to a quick start. From the back, Lohr sent it over. Now another one for Armstrong. And how about Hayden Olson? He's got 2 in a row.
Yeah, the first one he kind of took something off of it, and they caught him off guard, and then all of a sudden he let it fly.
Yeah, an outstanding set. And those outside hitters love that opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Bubbles in the middle. Tap it over. Nice dig. That was Hattin. A nice dig. Jallo. Swing. Hattin digs it out. The libero. Davidson. Set it up. Another dig for the Rebels. That was a beauty on the swing there by George. Good rally going on here. Point to the Rebels. Yang.
That's going to be his bread and butter. There's a bit of a mismatch in size out there right now, but if he can just use the block to his advantage, he's going to be an effective hitter.
5-2, Rebels to serve. And this is Chang Yang serving for the Rebels. Nice dig. Yang. Rebels get the point. And that was set up by that dig, almost out of bounds. Vega Yang dug it out of nowhere. And
He's
set
a little
up
creativity.
The point. And then Jallo put it away. Hippolito Valtierrez sent it over. Rebels in the middle, just going to tap that one over. Lou did the honors. That's going to be a point to Armstrong. Another swing for Hayden Olson. He is off to a good start.
He's feeling it, too.
That's a tricky set going all the way across to catch the hitter in rhythm, but they did there. Here's Jallo, blocked. That was a nice block set up by Armstrong here on the near side. Olson, Peterson set up that wall. Now it's Isaiah Scott to serve. Short serve.
Whoopsies.
Popped over the net.
A little miscommunication there.
Yeah, and they kind of handcuffed those middle blockers for Armstrong. 6-4, Rebels get the serve back. And Logan Thieling in to serve. Junior drops it in. Armstrong goes to work.
Well, under the net there.
And the Rebels pulled it within one. 7-5 on the board. Let's keep it alive. Just tapped over the net. Boy, that worked. Dealing just tapped it over, and that kind of caught Armstrong flat-footed.
Yeah, it was very borderline. He's a back row player right there, too.
Now to 7-6 Armstrong. They go to work, but that was blocked, but out. And that was Olsen, another big swing on the near side. He has been the go-to guy for Armstrong.
Yeah, I think if you're Champlin Park, you're taking note and you're saying, hey, their first option is him every time.
Colin Fan to serve. And that's a nice swing by Vega Yang over on the left side for Champlin Park. And they're back within one, get the serve back. Armstrong had the block, but he was still able to keep it on their side of the net. That one's out. We're tied at 8. Rebels were down 5-1. And now we're even up here in set number 1. And serving Curtis Yang, senior. That one's long. Hayden Olsen. That one goes long, so we trade service errors. 9-9. Our score. Rebels go right back at it. And this will be George Liu to serve.
Oh, good swing down the line there.
Hippolito Valtierra's second kill. And so far, they have just dominated here on the near side, their left side.
Yeah, they've definitely got their first option to the outside, and if Champlin Park sees that, they're going to use that.
Let's go to work. It's going to be tapped over, kept alive. Great dig by Yang. Chang Yang came out of nowhere to pop that into the air, keep the point alive. Rebels now in the middle. Oh, too bad. Dealing set, eluded lower in the middle.
I think a little miscommunication and a little mistiming on that one.
Davidson, the libero, serves away for Armstrong. High floater to the back. And that's a point. And Lohr put it away. Rebels get the serve back down by 1. And that's one of those hard to lay off in the back.
It is,
that probably would have gone long.
You don't have much time to react. Sometimes you got to go.
Went to the Rebels. We're tied at 11 again, serving Vega Yang, senior setter for Sammy Hilly.
Well, outside the antenna.
Yeah, hard to tell from here, but Rebels grabbed their first lead. They've been tied. Now the Rebels up 12-11. Vega Yang will continue to serve. Nice block. And the point to the Rebels. Jallo was over there. At Tango.
I think the Rebels might be adjusting a little bit. They're kind of camping out on that outside hitter.
Yang another serve. Floater into the middle. A double a hit. Oh, there it is. That's a quick 5 in a row by the Rebels. They lead by 3, continue to serve. Yang on a roll. Davis encourages her team. That's a big point. Ram Hatteen gets the serve back. They needed that.
Definitely.
You know, and it's one of those things where, you know, those 5-point runs are huge.
Yeah, you know, once you get a couple, each one just feels like more and more weight on your back. You just got to get off.
Teen waiting. Davidson, shoes all set. Rebels go to work. Jallo, left side, over the tape, kept alive. Hippolito Valtierrez played it off the tape. Now the Rebels right back at it. Near side, tapped over. And the point.
Yeah, Armstrong got a little unlucky on that one, and their libero crashed the net to try and pick that up. The blocker was able to get it, and guess where the ball went? Right to the libero was.
Lohr serving for the Rebels. Or digs it out and back. They send it across. Tapped over. Nice touch play. And pulling the string, Curtis Yang. Terrific touch over there. He just right over the block.
Yeah, smart play.
That's touched by the Rebels. Hippolito Valtierrez, third kill. 16-13. Falcons get it back. He certainly had his moments, and now he serves. That's an ace. Those are always celebrated.
Oh, yeah, every single time. You can't let those go by. They don't happen as often as you'd like.
And a big weapon. Jallo. Nice dig there by Davidson to keep it alive. He'll send it over. Rebels go to work. Jallo again, taps it over, and it goes right back. That was just a slam dunk.
Yeah, definitely a trap set there. He had nowhere to go, and Olsen was right there to just say, no thank you.
Look out. Hayden Olsen, his fifth. Just like that, we're tied at 16, and the Falcons on a roll.
Just trading runs at this point. One team goes up, then the other team answers.
Rebels just a little late to the block. That's blocked right back. And now the Falcons bounce right back into the lead, and they have scored 5 in a row.
So far, early going, this looks like their strongest rotation for Armstrong. So they're taking advantage.
Jallo. Davidson into the middle, tapped over. Jallo again, near side, that's long. Jallo had a good swing, just a little much. And now we have a timeout. Sammy Hilly wants to break that 6-0 run, and you get into that territory, you see a lot of timeouts when that run gets to 5 or 6 in a row.
Yeah, you know, it's weird to think, you know, at 5 points is a quarter of the set. You know, you got to take advantage and stop the run while you can, because if a quarter of the set gets away from you, it's hard to make up.
Yeah, and they've really stepped it up. I mean, they've had not only good swings, but they've had a couple of big blocks in this round.
They really have. You know, they're big and they use their size, and that's what they're going to do. I think so far that's their MO, and we'll see if the Rebels can adjust.
Flip side, the Rebels in their 5-0 run when they were down 11-9 and went up 14-11 early in this set, they really used their quickness effectively. And are really able to get around the floor defensively.
Yeah, they're a good defensive team from what I've seen so far, and they're also a smart offensive team. So they know when they're going to be in trouble, if they can do something about it and not just slam the ball into nowhere, they're going to do something.
So the serve continues for Hippolito Valtierrez, who has 3 kills, has an ace already in the scorebook. To the net, tapped over. Good smart play there by Yang. Near side, Jallo again. Gets it over the block. Jallo sends it into the middle. Out of the back row. And that's a big swing by Eric Lauren, put it away. And that isn't easy from the back.
Right, yeah. You know, it's coming out and just taking a swing at it, and then, as a defender, sometimes you're just not expecting it and you get caught.
And that's another one that may have gone long, but as you pointed out earlier, not a lot of reaction time. Here's Chang Yang to serve. That one goes wide. Swing opportunity there. That was Eric George. And now we're tied at 18. I think the board, yeah. It catch
a
up.
little late on the scoreboard there.
Yeah, the board here, our board here on CCX was right on it. And now we're back at it. Oh, and fanning on that one over there was, I think that was Hayden Olson. No, it was Isaiah Scott. And now the Rebels quick 3 in a row, and they're back up by 1 and serving. Jallo's just going to bat it over. Rebels keep it alive, send it over. Opportunity here for Yang. Point to Armstrong.
That was a good rally. We saw a couple good swings from the outside from Olson, and one where he took a little bit off of it, and some good defense and smart plays from the Rebels as well.
And Curtis Yang has to be a little frustrated because, he had the opportunity. It was kept alive. A chance to get the point. Now we're tied at 19. Armstrong to serve. Yang again. They go right back. And he got it over the tape and down. Beat the block.
Yeah,
Rebels up by 1.
He's not the biggest guy out there, but he really gets above the net, and he can use the block to his advantage, and that's when, so far, I've seen he's been at his best.
Logan Thieling to serve. For the Rebels, up by 1 late in the set. Into the net.
I think that one was an easy call.
And Cole Peterson knew it, too. He kind of came out of there with a smirk on his face. Yeah, that, my bad. That's got to be another net.
Yeah. I think we might be seeing a timeout from the Armstrong here. Yep.
Yeah, Randy Davis going to talk it over. It's getting 2 in a row, and that was another easy call. Hayden Olson right into the tape. 22-19, and now the Rebels in a really good spot, up by 3 late in this first set.
Yeah, if I'm Armstrong here, I'm talking and say, hey, our hitters have done a great job. Let's not set the ball too tight. Let them do some work. They don't need the ball right on top of the net to get a kill. They can have some room and not feel like they're going to run into it, and they can do some damage with it.
Yeah, and early in this set, Hippolito Valtierrez, Hayden Olson at time, and Olson just a moment ago did get into the tape, but they have been dominant when they've been given those opportunities on the outside, especially on their left side of the attack. It's been really good.
Yeah, when they've been in system, it's been, I don't know how often Champlin Park has really been able to stop that.
Logan Thieling to serve. Rebels in a good spot. Up 22-19, late set number 1, but I want to hang on to the serve here. Nice smart play. Eric George tapped it over the block.
And that's where changing it up every now and then helps, because the defense has been on their heels because they're expecting those big hard swings, and then a little bit short, and now they can't handle that.
Chang Yang made a valiant effort to get to it. Here's Armstrong to serve. Armstrong with the point, now down by 1. Swing there by George Liu. And that beats the block, Curtis Yang. Rebels now lead 23-21 late in set number 1.
Always a good feeling when you get a kill and then you go straight back to serve.
Yang will serve. Point to the Rebels, set point. Davidson handled the dig, but it came off awkwardly and they weren't able to recover. Now here's Curtis Yang serving for the set for the Rebels. They were down 5-1 early. That one goes long.
You don't want to serve out on game point. You never want to serve out on game point.
Yeah, and you could tell he wanted the ace to close it out.
Oh, yeah.
Jet Hu serving. And there it is. Eric Lohr puts it away. Lohr with his third kill of the set. And Champlin Park battles back. They win at 25-22. And really the key for them was down 11-9. That 5-0 run put them up 14-11. And then they were really in it the rest of the way and then pulled away late. We were tied at 19 and they closed it out on a 6-3 run to win that first set.
Yeah, I think like we talked about throughout the set, there was a difference between serve and pass and offense, and I think Champlin Park did a better job of passing and serve receive and taking advantage to try and cut off the runs when they could. And when Armstrong didn't have the opportunity to put a good swing on it, they weren't able to get the points. And Champlin Park did a good job of trying to get some digs and made some plays out of broken balls and were able to win a couple rallies. And when they got into trouble, they took that timeout and they reset, and then that's where I think the game changed for them.
All right, set number 2 coming up. Once again, Steve Thompson, Tyler Ullman here on CCX. And there's Eric Lohr putting it away in set 1, 25-22, Rebels.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Rebels win set number 1, 25-22, and there's head coach Sammy Hilly, and what a career she had here at Champlin Park. And see Hilly, and again there, section final, and then ultimately at the XL Energy Center. And what a career, now giving back. And she said, you know, even when she was in college, she would come back and coach. So she's had that coaching bug for a while.
You know, that's the next level of dedication. She was talking about getting back at midnight, driving back to school, and
Right.
coaching, through college. You don't see very many college students doing that.
Yeah, and what a run, Champlin Park, of course, winning it all. Sammy Hilly, a big part of it, now coaching boys volleyball. Coaches at the middle school across the street of Jackson.
I think volleyball just might be in her blood.
Yeah, that's right. So the Rebels have to feel good after winning that opening set. They were down 5-1 and then rallied to win at 25-22. Here's Armstrong, team to serve. Rebels go to work. And that one just falls flat, not on the same page. Pretty good set there by Vega Yang, but nobody at home.
Yeah, sometimes when you win that first set, you come out, you expect everything to be there, and you just, we got to reset and refocus.
Hits a tape. That's an ace, 2-0. Team first ace, second of the night for Armstrong. Polito Valtierra has had the other. Lohr had a block, kept it alive. Jallo in the back, sends it to the front, tapped over by the Rebels. Armstrong to work. To the net, over the tape, in one. Now the Rebels an opportunity. That's blocked. Good long rally here. Big drive there by
net
Lohr.
violation.
What do you see?
The blocker was in the net on that one. Really unfortunate because it's a great dig there from the libero.
Eric Lohr with the swing will get the kill. Look at that. Dug out by Davidson, as you see. Rebels down 2-1 with the serve. There's a kill for Hippolito Valtierrez, his fourth of the night, 3-1 Armstrong. He got it over on the right side this time and put it away.
Yeah, that might have been part of the message, too, is that we really need to spread out our sets because, we were really strong on the outside. We had a couple kills on the right side, but, they're starting to expect it, right? We're being too predictable, and that's what we don't want from our offense.
Jallo. Dug out by Davidson, and that's still the point. And Mo Jallo, second kill by my count, 3-2. Rebels will serve, and this will be Eric Lohr. Where's another one of these guys that can really elevate? Near side, right down the line goes Hayden Olson.
You leave him space, he's going to take it.
4-2 Armstrong, and look at this, all the way across the set. Not much the Rebels can do with that.
Did a good job of letting the ball come across his body and taking it down the line as opposed to trying to hit it early and straight into the block. It was a smart swing.
Armstrong the lead and the serve. They send it across. Curtis Yang. Boy, dug out there. And another swing from the near side. That is Olson, 2 in a row. He was a big part of that point. Look at this. Almost got a piece of it, not once, but twice, but couldn't keep it alive. Now Isaiah Scott to serve. Jallo just has to tap it inside the antenna. Armstrong sends it over. Free ball here for Champlin Park. Big drive in the middle, kept alive by Armstrong. Scott's blocked there. Or excuse me, Olson was blocked. Terrific job by the Rebels. Here's Mo Jallo. Big part of that.
Yeah, there you go. Doesn't matter how good your outside is. If you're too predictable, he's going to get blocked.
Mo Jallo did the work there. Now it's Yang to serve. Up into the rafters. Rebels keep it alive. Armstrong. George sends it over. Jallo near side. Taps it into the middle. Armstrong back at it. Blocked back down. Curtis Yang. Beautifully timed block. And a solo block over there.
Yeah. Yeah, really, he really gets up there. He's a good athlete.
And he was able to hang in the air to finish that block. It was a thing of beauty. Near side tapped over by Olson. And the point. Olson just batted it into a good spot. 6-4 Falcons.
Just a
That goes long. 7-4 Armstrong. We're up 6-3, 7-5 in the first. Kind of a similar pattern to this set as well. Colin Fan serving. Jallo. Now it's Olson. That one goes long from the back. Lohr sends it long. Looked like a lot of action in the net on that point.
That was a very awkward block. I think he kind of got caught as he was trying to press over the net and then pushed the ball into the net, and it really kind of looked like he was in it. And I think it was a good call by the officials to let that one go because I don't think he touched it.
Armstrong breathing room, 8-4. They continue to serve. Jallo just sends it over and deep. Davidson right back to the front. Olson, and he'll get another point. That's his 9th kill by my count, and that may be light. 9-4.
That was really great timing on that one. His last couple balls, he's been a little early and hadn't had a lot of room to work, but he was up high on time and didn't really matter too much what the block did on that.
At the moment, 4 in a row. That was just batted over in defense. Rebels go to work. They send it back to Yang. And that is blocked by Hatteen. 10-4. Yeah, Hatteen over there along with Camden Joseph on the floor for head coach Randy Davis. And now timeout Sammy Hilly. And once again, you see that run start to build. And it's still early in the set, but down by 6. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think one of the messages here in the timeout from Sammy Hilly would be, hey, these guys are going to block us, but we can keep those plays going, right? That last one, I think they were expecting Yang to get that kill there or at least get the ball over, but they got a good block on there, and they weren't ready to cover their hitter. So, hey, we got to be ready to pick that up, and then we can maybe win the rally and just outlast Armstrong.
So at Champlin Park, biggest deficit in that first set, they're down by a couple, but no more than that in that first set. Then they went up 14-11. We were tied again, and then the Rebels pull away. So Armstrong certainly with their big lead of the night right now, and they've been leading on Hayden Olson. He has done a nice job.
Yeah, he sure has. When he's been on time and he's been swinging hard, it's been fun to watch and tough to stop.
And their libero, Javon Davidson, he has done a very nice job. I mean, he has kept a lot of points alive, and you see him right there.
Yeah, even when they maybe don't win the rally, he still gets a good touch on the ball, and that's really what you want from your defense.
And to serve again. Rebels go to work. They send it over to Curtis Yang. And that's a point to the Rebels right on the line. And they'll take that. They needed that.
They sure did, yeah. That you don't want to go down this early in the set as much as they were looking like they were. And if they can get that point right out of the timeout, okay, now they can shift the momentum back around.
Ojallo's going to sit down, Thieling to serve for the Rebels. They need to get on a run of their own and get back into this. Point to the Rebels. Double hit. I didn't see it, but they called it quickly and stopped the point. 10-6.
They don't call too many of those anymore.
Both sides just kind of batting it over to keep the point alive. Now into the middle. Frantic play both ways. Now they send it to Yang. He's blocked. And finally blocked over on that right side. Boy, good work over there by Bram Hatteen.
Yeah, that was a long rally. You don't see a lot of those long ones end on blocks because those blockers are tired by this point.
Hatteen and Camden Joseph were there. Now serving Jet Hu. And 12-6. Rebels trouble at the net, just in too tight. Not a lot you can do with those. That'll work. That goes in the book as an ace. Smack the tape.
Well, I think that hit the antenna. I think it's actually a point for Champlin
Park.
Park.
Rebels do get it. Look at that. Yes. 12-7. Rebels down by 5. Armstrong back to work. Hippolito Valtierra sent it over. Or with the big swing, and that's into the net. That'll turn into a point. Hippolito Valtierra couldn't get it over, and now it's 12-8. The Rebels clawing back into this set.
Yeah, they just have to move 1 point at a time. Earlier was a 6-point deficit. Make it 4, and then make it 3. Okay, let's worry about 2 when we get there.
Curtis Yang to serve. Floater comes up short, dug out by Davidson. And just tapped over by Armstrong. Opportunity for the Rebels, and they bump into each other. Thieling and Vega Yang bump into each other. Point to Armstrong.
That's an easy fix. Hey, I got it.
Yeah. Service error there for Camden Joseph, the 9th grader. Rebels get it back down by 4. And as you pointed out, just trying to climb that ladder. Still plenty of set to go. And here's George Liu for the Rebels. Over and one, right back down. Eric Lohr. I call those cookies.
Yeah, I like that he took advantage of that because he was drifting to his left a little bit, but he still was aggressive for it, and Armstrong had no answer.
Liu serves again. Tapped over, and there's the point. Good smart play by Isaiah Scott. Saw an opening in the middle of the floor and grabbed it. Ramtine serving. From the back, Mateen sends it well long. Rebels get it back down by 3. Gradually reeling him in. They fell behind by 6. Now down by 3 and serving. Vega Yang. That's an ace.
1 point at a time.
Davidson couldn't get there. Another good serve by Yang. And then point right back. It's a good swing from Eric George. George pleased, and certainly can't blame him. Now Sebastian Hippolito Valtierrez to serve. Valtierrez really dominant early in that first set.
Yeah, he was definitely a big part of that offensive onslaught for a little bit there.
Rebels just send it over. That was Lohr. Olsen batted it over. Now they go to Jallo, and Jallo blocked out. Point to the Rebels.
Swiped right off the block. That's a smart play. Yeah, I like that he was aggressive and challenged the blocker.
Jallo had gotten a breather, and that block out by Eric George. Rebels down by 2. And it'll be Eric Lohr serving. Olsen almost slipped coming up for that one. Jallo's just going to send it over. Lohr and back. Can he find? Nope. A little long. Tried to drop it on the back line. Couldn't. 16-13 Armstrong to serve. Service error there by Scott. Rebels down by 2. So we creep toward the end of set number 2. Rebels won the first 25-22. And now libero Jangsen Yang to serve. That's played in the back by Davidson. Up to the front, sent over by Olsen. Lohr just going to bat it over. Oh, what a dig by Yang for the Rebels. Incredible. And then Olsen into the net. Hayden Olsen fanned on one. And now the Rebels are down by 1.
I don't think they expected that dig. That was a great swing from Joseph there. And that rally continued, and they just weren't ready for it to come back over.
Yeah, early in the point. Dang, Yang, terrific dig. Good serve there. Get it to Olsen. He'll send it over. Yang digs it out. Now they send it across. Curtis Yang. And we're tied. Rebels on a roll. They have chipped away down 12-6, now tied at 16.
Yeah, and credit to them, too. They weren't down, and they went down early, and they didn't get scared, right? They kept being aggressive. They kept swinging, and now it's a tie ball game.
Chang Yang to serve. Drops it in. Sent over by Davidson. Desperation. Jallow near side. Over the block. Gets it. Jallow. Rebels have scored 4 in a row, and we do get a timeout. This time Randy Davis wants to talk it over, and Rebels didn't give up, down 12-6. They were in a bad spot.
Yeah, they really were. But like I said, they kept being aggressive, even though they were in a position where every error can really build on it. But every point can really make a big difference in your direction. And they've done a great job of playing some really suffocating defense at times, and they're not letting any easy ball hit the floor. And they're continuing that effort of, hey, let's use the block to our advantage, or let's find a spot deep into the court or short. Armstrong is not really ready for it, and really kind of put Armstrong on their heels, where early in the set it was the other way around.
And Chang Yang, the Rebels libero, huge dig on that one long rally a couple of points ago that tied it up at 16. Just absolutely outstanding. And I think it was a big swing by Hayden Olson, if memory serves.
Yeah, what they've also done is defensively is they've also been positioned very, very well. So they were able to put themselves in a spot where even if they put a good swing on it, I'm already in the right spot. And they do a great job of when the ball's in the air after that first touch, okay, now let's figure out the second, then let's figure out the third.
Steve Thompson, Tyler Ullman, our CCX crew. Boys volleyball tonight from Champlin Park. The Rebels and the Falcons. Chang Yang serving out of that timeout. In the middle, it's tapped over and into the net. Go the Falcons. And all of a sudden, the Rebels are up by 2 and in a good spot. I think maybe Olsen got into the net. Yang to serve again. Sent forward by Roba. Jallow. He gets it over the block. That is 6 in a row by Champlin Park.
Yeah, if you're Armstrong, you really want to simplify your block here, right? Because you want to push over to the net and not give Champlin Park any room to get around you, but don't force it.
And then a service error there. Yang sends it long. 19-17 Armstrong to serve. It'll be their libero. It's not going to be Davidson to serve. It's actually going to be Colin Fan who will serve, the senior. His team down by 2 late in set 2. Curtis Yang dug out. Davidson back and one, and Jallow slams it back down.
Yeah, I wasn't facing him, but I can only imagine his eyes got very wide when he saw that ball go up there.
Jallow's going to come out, and he did get a breather earlier in the set, came in, gave them a big lift. Now they're up by 3 and serving. This will be Logan Thieling. Into the net. The Rebels continue to pull away. 15-5 run after falling behind 12-6 here in set 2. Champlin Park surging again.
Armstrong really looking for a good high pass here to get their offense running. That might be it.
And look, our big swing in the middle there. That was impressive. Camden Joseph.
I'm going to take a little bit of credit for that. He's on the team I coach, so.
Yeah, Camden, just a 9th grader.
Phenomenal athlete.
Got it in a great spot, 21-18. Falcons to serve. That one goes long. Jed Hu sends it out, 22-18. Rebels closing in. And now it's Curtis Yang. Into the net. Goes Hattin, 23-18.
Yeah, you don't want to freak out here. You want to keep being aggressive. That might be what Randy Davis is going to say in this timeout. Hey, keep being aggressive, but let's not freak out about it. We need to keep swinging, because if we put some soft stuff over the net just to play it safe, we know Champlin Park's going to pick it up, and they're going to win those longer rallies like they have. So we got to keep being aggressive. I think maybe they need to look at maybe fixing their serving game a little bit. They had at least 4 or 5 serve outs this set, and that's about the difference in this set right here.
Yeah, meanwhile, Champlin Park's been putting it in play, not even looking for the ace. Do you get the sense that there is a tendency at time where, I'm going to put a little more on this because I want that service ace?
Yeah, that's a big part of volleyball is keeping your emotions under control and making sure that, hey, I want to have that energy, but I also need to take a deep breath, slow things down a little bit, and not go too much. And then all of a sudden that ball is sailing out of bounds.
23-18 Rebels here in set number 2, and as we mentioned, they won the opener 25-22. And Curtis Yang serving, and Yang certainly had a good night, particularly on the left side of the attack. That one into the net.
Hey, coach's
I maybe jinxed him.
I think Randy Davis is going to take a little bit of credit for that one because he called that timeout, and guess what happened right after?
And I had talked about how good their service game had been to this point. So now it's Joseph to serve, drops it in, and that'll go as an ace. 23-20, they're not done.
Yeah, it has some good floater action to it. The passers had to come forward to get it and try and bring that ball back a little bit, and then the setter wasn't quite ready to get there.
That one's touched, or Laura thought it was.
Uh-oh. I think the referees might be guessing a little bit. I didn't see a touch on that one, but
yeah, they're going to get together.
Close.
Rebels called touch. Sammy Hilly on the edge of the floor said it was touched. And now the officials are going to talk it over. This is obviously a huge point.
Yeah, pivotal point in the match, and you don't want to be in this position as the referees. I don't know if we can see it here. But I think maybe, did the defender down the right and right back try and stick his arm out at it? I'm wondering if that's where they're thinking the touch might be.
They're going to say it was a touch. Great look by the crew here on CCX. 24-20 set point. And serving is going to be George Liu. That brought Hilly right up to the edge of the floor.
She was there to hurry.
Falcons to the net. Rebels keep it alive. And they send it over inside the antenna. They do. Good play by Lore. Blocked back by the Rebels on the swing by Hippolito Valtierrez. Rebels go to work again. In the middle, blocked back. And that was Isaiah Scott in the middle on that block. 24-21. Falcons still at set point. Will send Hatteen to the serve line. Graham Hatteen, team down by 3. Into the net, that'll do it. 25-21 Rebels. They're up 2 sets to none. And once again, they were in big trouble, Tyler. Down 12-6. They didn't give up. They chipped away and then pulled away.
Yeah, I think you have to credit Champlin Park here because they really didn't stop. They didn't give up. They kept pushing the envelope, and they kept wanting to go for it. They kept swinging at the ball. Maybe the Falcons took a little bit off of it. Maybe they stepped off the gas a little bit, but, that's part of it, and the Rebels really took advantage of that.
So Champlin Park wins set number 2, 25-21. They'll try and close it out in straight sets in a moment here on the CCX.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married, an interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
And we are back. Rebels trying to sweep the Armstrong Falcons here tonight. They won the opener 25-22. And set number 2, 25-21. And defensively, they've been outstanding. They've really used their quickness well tonight.
Yeah, they've given themselves an opportunity where they may be a little bit outmatched size-wise. And they've more than made up for that.
Mega Yang to serve. And Armstrong a quick point. They'll get the serve back, and they'll send Bram Hatteen And now for them, they've got to win 3 in a row to win the match here tonight, but starts here with set 3. There's a service ace.
What we've seen from Armstrong tells me that even though they might be on the ropes, this is far from over. So
And the Rebels down 12-6, didn't quit. Win that second set. Now Armstrong off to a quick start. Jallow over on the left side, blocked back, kept alive by the Rebels. They will send it over. Vega Yang does the honors. Now Armstrong to work. Over on the right side, going cross court. Putting it away is Hayden Olson.
what a great cross swing there. I don't know if he intended to do that, but it worked out great.
Armstrong up 3-0. Olson's hit double digits in kills. That serve, there's an ace, drops it in. Team, good deep floating serve, 4-0 right out of the gate.
Yeah, I think that one, it looked like it was going long, and then it just dropped.
Did a terrific job on that to get it deep. They get it to the net, off the net. They'll send it over. Opportunity for Armstrong. That is a point. That drops on the line. Hippolito Valtierrez was able to just drop it in. They're up 5-0. Boom.
Armstrong's done a lot better job of pushing the ball deep, both in serving and offensively.
Into the net goes Lauren. Like that, it's 6-0. That has been a quick 6-0 burst. Graham team to serve again. Jallow. Dug out by Davidson to the net. Rebels get the point. Jallow, a good swing, and he is certainly a weapon for the Rebels.
Definitely the start Armstrong was looking for. Couldn't ask for more than that.
Also blocked. Rebels send it over. Armstrong keeps it alive. Nice job by them. Davidson sends it over. The libero. Rebels go to work. Jallow down the line. Dug out by Davidson. Kept alive. I'll just bat it over. That was Olson. Hit the tape. And there's a point. Doesn't always take the big swing, does it, Tyler?
No, especially when you got some big hitters like Armstrong does, they continually swing hard and swing hard and swing hard, and sometimes just putting it right over on the other side of the net makes the difference.
That went into the net. Sebastian Hippolito Valtierrez, service error, 7-2.
Seemed like he hesitated there a little bit.
Chang Seng Yang serving, a libero for the Rebels. Olson dug out, kept alive by the Rebels. Jallow just taps it over. That was a point to Armstrong. Slipping under the net was...
Yeah, the down ref there ruled that the ball was down before he crossed the plane of the net, so it was a legal play.
8-2. And that's the first we've called Caden Burgoyne's name. Jallow. Now it's Olson. I think he got into the net there.
There was a lift on that one. He got a little too much underneath it and pushed the ball straight up. Didn't make a difference as he didn't go over, but that was the call on that one.
8-3. Rebels get the serve back. Still early in the set. Logan Thieling. Blocked back by the Rebels. They'll get the point. That George Liu in the middle made that play.
Yeah, definitely great job being up and having some good hands there. That was a tight set, and he did not let that ball go by him.
Dealing again. Rebels were down 6 rip. They're in set number 3. Olson actually Yeah, that was Hayden Olson up into the net. He'll sit down. 8-5, and the Rebels creeping right back.
Have we seen that before?
Yeah. Yeah, down 12-6 in the second. They were in trouble.
I'm not sure if the line judge was doing something he shouldn't have been doing here or what.
Got that straightened away. Difficult sport to officiate at times. I mean, there's some really tough calls. You rely on the line judges, point to the Rebels. They've picked up 4 in a row. Feeling to serve again. Down the line, and they didn't handle that one well. Now 5 in a row for the Rebels.
Definitely time to try and stop this one here. I wonder if Randy Davis is thinking about taking a timeout soon.
Burgoyne. Dug out by the Rebels. Sent over by Curtis Yang. To the net. Tap right back. Another opportunity for the Rebels. Curtis Yang goes deep. Armstrong right back to the net. Long point here. Curtis Yang. That one goes long.
Who needs a timeout? We'll just win it anyway.
9-7 Armstrong. Colin Fan to serve. Another long point here. That one goes long. A touch.
No, it doesn't look like that. They wanted a touch there. They still do. Looks like they're going to get it. Maybe off his pinky there.
The Rebels to serve. This will be Curtis Yang. And now it's 9-8. The scoreboard you see is correct. The one here in the gym just updated after that call. Now Yang to serve. He has played well all night. To the net. Stays on the Armstrong side. Just like that, we're tied at 9. It was a 6-0 start for Armstrong. They just, boom, race out to that 6-point lead in Champlin Park, right back in it. Yang to serve again. Yang keeps it alive in the back. They send it across, tapped over by Lord, point to the Rebel. Moore's had a really good night as well, and he elevates so quickly.
Yeah.
See right here on this point, just right between the block.
Yeah, and that's a tough ball to block because you expect him to hit with his right hand and then he sticks his left arm out there and you're surprised.
Davidson digs it out, doesn't get any help. That's tough as he dug it, but it spun right behind him. No one back there. And it's 11-9. Now timeout Randy Davis. She does take that timeout. And well, you got to give Champlin Park a lot of credit. They have played so well together tonight.
Yeah, when they've had the opportunity to keep those long rallies, they really have more often than not outlasted Armstrong. And that seems to me to be one of the differences in the match because, like you mentioned, their quickness on defense has allowed that opportunity to happen. Because even if Armstrong gets a big kill, next play they might get another good swing, but Champlin Park gets a good dig on it. And that's been their whole elixir to help them out tonight.
Yeah, and it seems as though, they've used their quickness to stay in position. If someone, makes a dig or falls down, someone comes in to back them up. While they get back into position, and they really watch where everyone is on the floor.
Yeah, there's 6 guys on the floor, and they do a great job of using every single one of them. It's not just one guy. It's not just 2 guys. There's 6 of us, so let's use us.
And once again, Jallo's been a big factor at times. He is on the bench right now, and Curtis Yang is serving. Into the net. Armstrong gets it back, down by 1. And who's serving? At the line by Armstrong. Good battle at the net there by Lou for Champlin Park. They send it across. This is Lohr. And that changeup so hard to deal with, to borrow a baseball term. When you really change speeds, it can throw the defense off.
Yeah, and when you're the defense, you have to be ready to take it and say, hey, this is going to be my ball until someone else calls me off it. We shouldn't be, oh, that's yours, oh, that's mine. Ooh, just go. We just need to go for it.
There's an ace. It's now up by 3. And George Lou will continue to serve for the Rebels. Here at home tonight, 2-5 on the year. Armstrong 4-2. Altieri sent it over. Batted around at the net. Another point to the Rebels. They've won those little battles at the net.
Yeah, Armstrong has struggled recently. Recently in this set, they haven't done a great job of pressing over the net, and Champlin Park has really done a great job of taking advantage.
Lou right in the middle, serves it in. Tap back, another point to the Rebels, and that's just a good team effort over there by Tango and Lohr working together.
Now the whole team's feeling it. You can see the smiles going around on the court. They're really feeling it now. They're ready to put this one away.
They're up 15-10 in a good spot, up 2-0. Serve in. That is blocked back. Eric Lohr, what a night. 5 in a row for the Rebels, and they storm out to a 6-point lead here in the third.
Yeah, Armstrong's looking around for answers right now.
Who to serve? Dug out by the Rebels. Lohr sends it over again. Armstrong back to work. And then that time, Sebastian Hippolito Valtierrez did not miss. They needed that badly.
Yeah, he took that one and just said, hey, if it doesn't work the first time, let's make it work the second.
They went right back there, and look at that. Good a swing as we've seen all night. And now Camden Joseph to serve. They're still down by 5. Lohr taps it over. That's going to be a point to the Rebels. I've been impressed by Eric Lohr all night.
Yeah, he's had a great night.
Now Vega Vang to serve for the Rebels, up by 6. And that's going to be an ace. Haven't seen a lot of those tonight. His second, by my account. Now the Rebels in a really good spot, up by 7 here in the third. Another good deep serve. That's tapped over Jallo. Rebels send it back, and then Jallo goes long. Too bad. Well, that was quite a save by Vega Vang.
Yeah, he even crossed over the plane of net after passing that one. Did a great job of keeping it on their side. Gave themselves the opportunity, even if it didn't work out.
Ram Hatteen to serve. They get on that roll early where they took a 6-0 lead. They need that now. Jallo inside the antenna, sent it over. Rebels go to work. Floor goes long.
You call a touch on that?
Oh, it is a touch.
I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I bet our cameras
that was
did.
over and out. That's unfortunate. You don't want that to happen there, but looks like that one just sailed out.
19-12. Rebels find a way to keep it alive. Tapped over by Lohr. Good work by the Rebels to keep that point going. Into the net. Another point to the Rebels. Hippolito Valtierrez was in a tough spot close to the net. Couldn't get it over. 20-12.
I think they're going to start seeing a lot of Hayden Olsen here. They're going to try and go back to their bread and butter and get as many points as they can.
In the middle, how about that? That's that tango. Oh, actually, that was Kenny Vangay.
Gonna come here in after the timeout, but you've got to be feeling pretty good if you're Sammy Hilly here, right?
Yeah, up 21-12, up 2-0, and really feeling good. You look at, dropped their first three. Maple Grove 3-1, got beat 3-0 at Coon Rapids. Fall in the first game of that Osseo Senior High Invitational, 2-0 to a very good Rogers team. Fourth in the current rankings. They have a strong team. I saw them against Andover last night. They have some players.
They have a very strong roster.
And then Champlin Park beat United Christian, fell to Osseo and Blaine at that tournament. And then we're able to beat Centennial on Monday and are rolling here tonight. So certainly confidence builder in that win over Centennial on Monday night. Here they are on a Wednesday night at home in a good spot in the third. Here's Lohr. Olsen blocked. Jallo was over there. Tango was over there. 22-12. Jallo hasn't been on the floor a ton tonight, but he has made a difference when he has been on the floor.
Yeah, he's been a strong presence at the net.
Sending it wide was Kenny Vangay. 22-13. They got breathing room, though. And now Hippolito Valtierrez to serve. Rebels feeling good. There's an ace. Chang Yang hasn't missed many from the libero spot. He missed that one there at 22-14.
Yeah, this one's not over yet. If you're Champlin Park, you got to remember, hey, let's finish this thing off.
And gets it to the net. Jallo blocked out.
Right over towards the cameraman.
23-14. Rebels within 2 of closing it out. 3-0. Chang Yang will serve. He has been terrific. There's an ace. Match point. It's just a beautiful serve.
Yeah, that one died. That one died on him.
Into the net.
Well, they got some work cut out for him.
They got a lot of match points. Scott gets it in. Job one. In the middle. That'll do it. Big swing in the middle by George Luke. Closes it out. Champlin Park wins the third, 25-15. And they close it out tonight, 25-22, 25-21, and 25-15. And Sammy Hilly here at home. The Rebels now 3-5. Armstrong falls to 4-3. Rebels played really well in some tough spots, responded well.
Yeah, they had it. And really, it was a tight battle throughout the match, especially those first 2 sets. And then in the third set, they just pulled away. They started feeling the momentum. You could hear the noise in the gym from the bench, and everything just kept growing. And then they just really ran with it.
Yeah, their service game was pretty good. Not a lot of service errors.
Yeah, they were aggressive, but they were smart, right? They didn't miss too many, and when they did, for the most part, they were good misses. They were deep, or they were trying to make a pass or move one way or the other. Not a whole lot that were into the net. They had a couple. You know, every team is going to have a couple, but they did a good job of really making the Armstrong work.
Yeah, and defensively, I thought outstanding. Really used their quickness well.
Yeah, that's definitely the strength of this roster, is going to keep the ball alive until we have the opportunity. Because they're not, I don't think they're going to outsize many teams in the state, but they do have the opportunity to just keep the ball alive until they see that chance to go against a good block and hit it off the block or go around the block. Because if they get into trouble, they know their defense can bail them out.
Armstrong got up to quick starts, up 5-1 in the first. In the second set, they were up 5-2, feeling good. As a matter of fact, up 10-4, 12-6 in the second, and then they jumped out to a 6-0 lead in the third, and Champlin Park just kept coming after them and cruised to this 3-set win, 25-15 in the third.
Yeah, there's not a lot of quit in that roster, as we learned tonight. You know, 6-0 is not a good feeling to look up at the scoreboard and see when you're down on that other side, and a lot of players can just shut down, and they didn't do that.
Yeah, Mo Jallo in spurts tonight, playing in all 3 sets. When Sammy Hilly would put him out there, he made a difference.
He certainly did, and they did a great job collectively of, like we talked about, is using every player on the court and just really building on what they had, and it was really a fun match to watch in that regard.
Yeah, and Randy Davis, once again, some good things. They followed tonight. They're now 4-3. And upcoming for them next week, they will be home to Blaine on Monday, and then home to Anoka on Wednesday, and home to Rogers. That'll be a tough test for Armstrong. So they've got 3 next week. Champlin Park, meanwhile, they will get St. Cloud Tech here next Monday, and then Hopkins and Osseo next week as well. Big thanks to our CCX crew. And Tyler, good to meet you. Good to work with you tonight.
It was a fun night.
Tyler Ullman, Steve Thompson, once again, Champlin Park over Armstrong and boys volleyball, 3 sets to none. Have a great evening.